For the record, can you guys say your name and your titles, please?
Philip Jones, current mayor, City of Newport News.
And Steve Drew, Chief of Police here at the City of Newport News.
I just want to say thanks everyone for coming out. The first thing I want to say is we're doing this in order to make sure that we have the correct information to the public. First, I want to give a public recognition and thanks to our first responders who were immediately on the scene. Chief Drew is going to talk more about what actually happened. What I'm here to tell everyone is that this is a safe city, a safe place. Today, the mall is going to be closed. However, some of the anchor shops, so your Macy's, your JCPenney's, your Dick's Sporting Goods, on the exterior, they're going to remain open. This is an isolated incident, and Chief will talk more about what happened.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, for that. So I think the Mayor summed it up. What happened today is at 10:51, there was a call of a shooting inside a store located inside our mall. At 10:52, officers were already on scene. One of the reasons they were here so quick is during the holiday season, with all the shopping areas that we have going on, we have what we call holiday patrols, and 2 officers came to the mall to kind of do a quick check to make sure it was okay before they checked other locations. So within a minute, we were at the scene. What they found is 2 individuals inside of one of the stores inside the mall. One was transported to an area hospital where, unfortunately, despite life-saving attempts on his life, unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries about 30 minutes later, about 11:23, 11:30 at an area hospital. So what's occurring right now is we do have 1 individual in custody of person of interest. We are not looking for anyone else. There is evidence being recovered inside the store. 2 firearms have been recovered and some other items for evidence. They're conducting an interview as we speak. These 2 individuals, we're unsure of the relationship. What we know is, or what we believe at this point, is that they had an altercation, some type of verbal altercation somewhere else in the mall, and then they ran into each other again inside one of the stores inside the mall, and that's where the altercation occurred. So there were shots fired. Big kudos to the management here at the mall. They're great partnerships. We were on the phone with them right away before I even got here. We're having those conversations. The mall is going to be open again tomorrow. We are just going to, the main reason we're closed down is to process the scene and collect all the evidence without disrupting anything. But like the mayor said, the anchor stores are open. So I'm waiting to hear about the statements that are made at headquarters, and then we'll put all that together. There is video. We'll share all that with the Commonwealth Attorney and make a determination on charges at that point.
And I would say is then what we all need right now is a lot of peace and goodwill toward our common person. And so I would just encourage all of our residents across Hampton Roads, just love hug your loved ones. Let's be with each other this holiday season. Yeah. We'll take a few questions. You can go first for Chief.
What store did it happen in?
Right now, I don't want to put that out. It wasn't like one of the first things, like the mayor prefaced, we didn't want people to think that this is a mass shooting or a multiple shooting of victims in the mall. These were 2 individuals inside a smaller store inside the mall. I think they had some words around the food court area, and then they met up again inside this mall, and the altercation verbally continued. The 2 have escalated.
Were other people in that immediate area, and did people, were any sort of lockdown, or what was it like with the rest of the people in the area?
That's a great question. So there were some employees inside, and I will tell you, some of the employees went over and rendered life-saving measures. I thought that was, the mayor and I both just spoke to her. I thought that was amazing. But there was no one else really in direct right up in that vicinity. But anytime you have gunfire and people are around, that's always a concern. But this was in close proximity. It wasn't a wide ride span. It was just about as close as we're standing here today.
What does it say about situational awareness in any type of public setting and being ready to act like those employees did? It seems like that they were ready to go.
Well, I will tell you, I think that we have a great relationship with our citizens here. I think this mall is a cornerstone of our city. It does great work. We have a great relationship with, like I said, the mall management, and I think that the employees there reacted, as well as citizens. When I walked in, officers were directing citizens away from the area so we could process that scene. They were extremely cooperative. Several individuals asked, "Is there anything that you need?" And we have our elected officials here, our mayor, and other council members have shown to what do we have here, what's the situation. I just think that shows a teamwork. And I think with the mayor talking about, remember, goodwill and where we're at, especially this holiday season. But the cooperation, I think, is amazing. Citizens, employees, our elected officials, and the men and women who responded here today.
Were the victim and the person of interest, are they both from Newport News?
So that is a great question. Right now, I don't want to speak on the victim. We still got some notifications to make to family on the individual we have detained. We are interviewing him at police headquarters right now. So we hope those questions you're asking and more are some of the things I'll be interested in when I leave here.
Anything else? I can wrap up. Okay, thanks all for coming.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.